Anhelina Kalinina. Svitolina won the toss, elected to serve first. Lou Plemming and Candy Reid in the commentary box. Up through Wimbledon, Svitolina was working with Rauman Slaughter. That partnership has since ended. She's back with her former coach, Andrew Bettles. Kalinina, meantime, has husband, who is also her coach, Anton, on the bag. There's Andy Bettles in the hat. Most recently been working with Jill Teichmann. That had a lot of success with Svitolina in part one of their partnership.
That's an area of her game when she's really hitting her targets, hitting her spots. Svitolina, she can be quite dangerous. 106 is not the biggest out there. She's not a tall girl, but very precise with where her targets are.
She's come back, hasn't she, from maternity leave, Lou, a lot more aggressive than she left. She was more of a counterpuncher. Now you put her as an aggressive baseliner.
Yeah, I mean,
ish.
Yeah, she when she's staying up, when she's confident, she's up on the baseline. She's more aggressive. When she gets a little bit further back, loses a little bit of that power, and then becomes more of an absorber and neutralizes. But when she's on the front foot and feeling good, yes. That's where she's not. When she's pushed back, the ball's deep, and she's going to be doing a lot more defending. And if Kalinina can get that ball through the air quickly, and if she can be a little bit more aggressive and just expose Svitolina's movement.
So a good start for Elina Svitolina. World number 28 on the PIF WTA rankings currently.
You in favour of this outfit? Let's talk about the outfit. I mean,
no secret to Anhelina Kalinina's success. A former Rome 1000 runner-up. Hasn't managed to get to those lofty heights since last year.
That's good depth. That is the key to this match. If Kalinina can keep that ball deep and going through the air pretty fast. I mean, it's sluggish conditions out there. Who is going to kind of handle these conditions physically, really? I mean, that is going to be the answer. And that's a question. We haven't seen this really hot heat, this humidity throughout the summer. So it is a bit of a question mark.
Of course, a lot better now than it was a few hours ago, past 9:30 p.m. local time.
Certainly much better right now. There's no question about that.
I have a bit of trivia that I learned the other day.
Wait.
Anhelina Kalinina's grandmother is a tennis coach and used to coach Yulia Starodubtseva, who was a qualifier here, lost to Victoria Azarenka out on grandstand court in the first round.
This year? Wow.
Well, I think she was a childhood coach. So obviously Kalinina comes from
some
good tennis stock.
Yeah. And her mum not really travelling with her now?
Nope, that's correct. Apparently mum has a lot of animals and Kalinina
coaching them.
Likes to go back home. And she says it's a zoo at home.
Wow, isn't that fun?
Of course, home is a difficult subject right now, isn't it, for these two?
Yeah.
It's not been easy. And that is very much underestimating what these two women have been through.
No, they do a phenomenal job, don't they? Just showing how resilient these young players are from the Ukraine. Amazing.
And Svitolina just pouring her own money into helping so many others, particularly those who play the Billie Jean King Cup for Ukraine. It's been a bit of a source of motivation, I think, for many of the Ukrainian players. Do as well as they can.
Yeah, well, certainly it needs to be, and there is a huge amount of pride for what they're having to deal with. But on the tennis courts, they're all very good fighters. I mean, they're all such lovely girls as well. There's the court positioning that matters in this match. As soon as Svitolina gets pushed back, that's when trouble happens. Kalinina, if she can just really keep that depth and keep that ball moving. So she goes cross-court here. This one, that's her favourite shot. And just see, that pushes her back. That's where the difficulties are going to happen with Svitolina. She likes to stay up on that baseline and just take time away. That adds to the value of trying to be aggressive.
Quite sure about the game plan from Svitolina. She seems to be going into the strength of her opponent. And the tennis world knows, doesn't it, that Anhelina Kalinina's got a great backhand. It's taken her up to world number 25 last May.
Her so good as well is the way she can get the ball into any area of the court. She likes to move the ball around. She can play across her body. She can go inside out, and just keeping Kalinina moving there to create the opening. Nice finish to the point there.
Well done, Elina Svitolina. Good hustle. Returned, of course, to the tour in April 2023 following the birth of her daughter Sky with husband Gael Monfils.
It's amazing, isn't it? Just all the great people that they put around them in their teams that just help them come back and manage having a child, and it's quite amazing how they can have longevity.
This time she does convert the break point to love.
It's like having two careers, isn't it? One without a child, and probably thinking so much more about yourself, and probably like overthinking in many ways when you don't have something else that's really almost more important than you. And I would imagine having a child would take a lot of stresses away in some ways for your tennis. May add some other things like very little sleep, but if you can manage both and you can have someone, a mum or a nanny traveling with you, how great that would be.
Yeah, it certainly puts it in perspective. I don't know if you heard Naomi Osaka after her terrific win over Jelena Ostapenko yesterday. She said the night before that her daughter hadn't been sleeping, didn't want to go to bed, and she was up quite late, and then she produces arguably the performance of her second career.
Yeah, I think you are almost, you know, a lot more relaxed. You just kind of come out here and you're just thinking about the ball and giving your best effort.
And if you win, you win. You lose, you lose. You're still mum at the end of the day.
That's exactly right. Still got a lot of money in the bank, no matter what, if you're Naomi Osaka.
And you just have to look at the ring finger of Elina Svitolina.
Does she wear that on the court, does she? There she is.
It's quite blingy. Oh, that's a great body serve.
This is a very good start for Elina. She'll be very happy with this, put a lot of balls in. She just mixed it up enough just to kind of find some momentum out here.
So just like that, 12 minutes on the match clock, and the 27th seed from Ukraine has a 3-love lead.
And flow, momentum on the court.
Hasn't had a great run, has she, at this tournament? This is her 4th time in the 2nd round, but she's never got any further. 10th US Open appearance, 6th in the main draw. Didn't have the best start to the season. Kalinina lost her first 3 matches. Did do well in her 6th tournament of the year there. That was in Austin, where she reached the semi-final. Beat Diane Parry, Camilla Osorio. Semi-finalist as well at Rouen. The indoor clay, where she lost to Magda Linette. Semi-final in Strasbourg as well. Round of 16 on the Eastbourne grass. Quarter-finalist in Prague.
Just extracting a couple of forehand errors here from Svitolina. Doesn't really have an obvious weakness, though, Svitolina. She's pretty similar off both sides. Very equal kind of player. Obviously, most of the girls have better backhands, but that's good. Just that perception of when there's a short ball, when to just move in. She does a very good job of hitting the right shot at the right time. Very measured. I don't often see her coming out and just having a really sloppy match. I mean, she's always competing really hard, and if, you know, may lose to the big hitters like the Rybakinas and the Sabalenkas, but not often. That's nice. Not often to a player that isn't going to really punish her off the court. So good shot here from Kalinina, just picking the right shot. She doesn't often hit that, so you could just see Svitolina just hanging in that cross court, waiting.
Like London buses, those backhand winners.
Wouldn't it be more like a black cab? more reliable.
Well, the joke is with London buses is that they don't turn up for an hour and then 2 or 3 come within a few minutes.
Gotcha. It's good depth. I mean, gee, this is where it's tough. You've got to just maintain that high level. As soon as you drop that shorter ball, I mean, this is again just that perception that Svitolina has. Look at that, she's onto that. Really hits the right shot at the right time, and she's always pressuring her opponents. Again, it's just so difficult here for Anhelina just to get on top.
Oh, yes, nicely done. Great timing off the forehand.
No, she's got to work so hard. Kalinina, every time she gets up, just got to work. As soon as that ball is just a little bit short or there's something that just she doesn't get quite behind the shot, then Svitolina is all over it. Good work.
And just managed to turn that point from defence into attack, didn't she?
Yeah.
Long game, this one. Plus 5 minutes. Kalinina still looking to hold. And back to deuce we go. Another thunderous return. Kalinina winning just 2 of 8 points behind the second serve. You can just see how hot and humid it is out there. Temperatures expected to lower this Thursday, but here on day 3 of the US Open, it's been really, really hot. Not to mention humid. Back with Andy Bettles for part 2. Won 11 WTA titles together and an Olympic bronze medal. Well, Svitolina clearly choosing the wrong shot choice for once, but somehow she gets away with it. Kalinina hasn't had the best run up to the US Open. She was handily beaten, in fact, in the first rounds of both Cincinnati and Monterey. Managed to get back to winning ways, though, to defeat the world number 86, Océane Dodin. Bit of a strange scoreline, that one. 6-1, 3-6, 6-1. That was her 4th career win at the US Open. Well, the first 3 games lasted 12 minutes. This one game has lasted almost as long. Back to deuce. And Kalinina throws in her first ace. And eventually Anhelina Kalinina does get over the line. That was a tough service hold, but she did it. Still looking for her first WTA title, Kalinina. Turned 27 in February. Don't forget, you can stay connected to the US Open on Facebook, X, Instagram.
Yeah, she loves that shot, doesn't she? She really likes it. It's almost like a C action. You get around the ball, she hits that off shot, the off forehand. There we go. There's the little drive. This one comes up around. There's the C action. Get around, shoulder turn, and great finish there to the open court.
Well done, Anhelina Kalinina. A lot of wit behind that short forehand. It had to be. Svitolina remains perfect behind her first serve, 9 from 9. Has got the 2-0 head-to-head lead in this matchup. Won in Dubai when they met earlier this year. 6-3, 7-6. And before that, 2013, their first meeting at the Donetsk ITF, where Svitolina was a 4-1 winner. A couple of years older than her compatriot. A little bit of indecision, perhaps, from the 29-year-old. Had a great start to the 2024 season, a finalist in Auckland, round of 16 at the Australian Open, round of 16 Dubai, third round Indian Wells, round of 16 at Roland Garros, quarterfinal and a semi at Wimbledon. Well, that is where the heat and humidity causes all kinds of problems holding onto the racket. So got to the round of 16 at the recent Paris Olympics, round of 16 at Cincinnati, and most recently quarterfinal in Monterrey for Svitolina. Much of that with coach Raymond Slaughter, and now, of course, back with Bettles. Two doubles now for Svitolina, two aces as well. Feast or famine in this game. Has won 11 singles titles on hard courts. It's been a while though, 3 years since she won the Chicago 250. Forced into the backhand up the line, just misses. So tough game now for Svitolina behind serve.
That's such a good serve, so effective. She gets that ball just to slide away, opens up the court so well. 4 aces so far. I don't realise how effective Svitolina is as a server. Quite tricky.
And she gets there in the end as well. So holds on to a serve, Svitolina. And she's got the break in hand. Winner of this will meet either Coco Gauff, the defending champion, or Tatiana Maria, the mother of 2 from Germany. Well, that was aggressive.
Ambitious off the return. Was sitting there, wasn't exactly a big serve, but just overestimated the swing there.
When asked what she'd like to change about tennis, Aryna Sabalenka said, "I'd like a bigger court, please." So maybe Svitolina is in the same camp there. What would you like to change about tennis? One thing.
I think it'll be interesting, actually, when they do bring in lets, that you've got to play them. So a lot of people are very much against it. I think it could be interesting.
Like we see in the juniors, we see at college tennis. I'd quite like to see that too, actually.
That's a good point. On the front foot and really opening up the court, getting Svitolina moving. She's been the one that has not been dictating, so it's a good game plan just to get on the front foot and really try to be aggressive. Good targets with obviously some good measure there. There's no risk in that. Good shape on the ball.
She didn't look like she got her feet right at all there, did she, Kalinina? Hard court, so you'd expect an even bounce. And so for the third service game in a row, 27-year-old is facing a break point. And a double fault from Kalinina. It's a gift for Elina Svitolina, who now has a double break in this opening set.
That's the thing. It's not that it's pressure that's big hitting and that, you know, she just hits you off the court. It's just that constant pressure that Svitolina brings. She builds pressure over the course of the match. Done a very good job of it so far. Very focused. I like the way she goes about business. She doesn't give too much away. She's got a good game face. Of course, gets a little upset if she misses a couple in a row that she shouldn't do, but just turns it straight back around. It's one of the huge things to teach the young juniors, is just not to dwell and to refocus. No point thinking in the past or in the future. You have to really have to stay in the moment.
It's a hard lesson, isn't it?
It's so hard. She let her out of jail there. She was really just leading the chase.
Nice to see Svitolina come to the net, but she didn't look particularly convincing, did she?
He doesn't do enough with that ball there. Kalinina just hoping to delay this set here, but really Svitolina's come out in full charge. She's been very solid so far.
Oh, strange game. Looks so solid at 30 love, but now facing a break point. First break point of the match, in fact, for Kalinina. Quickly snuffs it out. So fifth ace, and Elina Svitolina, after 38 minutes, has a set point. Wasn't perfect, but very measured, very considered for Elina Svitolina. Only lost one game, broke a couple of times, and she has the first set wrapped up 6-1. This is her 16th major main draw appearance. Best results so far, a third round at the Australian Open last year.
good if you just get on the front foot. Just try to get her nose in front and just get a little bit of confidence out here. She's just trying to relax herself and just get the shoulders a little bit more relaxed, get a little bit more racket head speed. Really does favour that backhander, doesn't she? She just perches herself, even from the forehand side. She's getting frustrated because she just doesn't have a lot of options. If she's not willing to really step around and use the forehand where you can create different angles, you're always looking for that one shot. You become so predictable.
I have a coaching question for you, Lou, because obviously Anhelina Kalinina is working with her husband. At what time, at what point in life do you bring in somebody else?
Well, I think if it's not working or things get a little dull, I mean, I would imagine that, you know, with your husband, things would get a little, could get a bit tricky, I would say. I think it's important to get, it's important to get new influence. And, I mean, it really depends on the relationship, doesn't it? But some, it works.
Just thinking, you know, in the Veronika Kudermetova, who's sort of fallen off. She's working with her husband. They've brought people in. There's Anton, the husband and coach of Kalinina, but maybe it's just worth bringing somebody else in with good expertise.
For sure. I mean, you've got to be careful not to having a rotation of, you know, too many people, too many voices. And I think if there's progress, though, and or that you feel happy on the court, I think that's a big one. Of the match. Terrific. And hurt.
Elina Svitolina back in 2017. Just the 17 WTA titles to her name. None at major level. She's come close. Hasn't quite clinched one. 24 million in prize money banked and a whole lot more in endorsements, no doubt. Her consistency cannot be questioned. Did start slowly though against Maria Lourdes Carle in her opening round here. That was on court 5. Lost the first set, ended up winning 6-4 in the third set. She was so good last year, wasn't she, in her comeback? Svitolina, a semi-finalist at Wimbledon, quarter-finalist Roland Garros.
Incredible.
Won the Strasbourg title. She was ranked, I think, outside the world's top 500 when that happened.
So it was 2017 when she went into Wimbledon and everyone was just like, you have just played incredible. I think she won Eastbourne and everyone was talking about her, and then she had a shocking run. Just too much pressure, too much expectation. That's when she was 3 in the world, as you said. The mix-up ball that I think Kalinina could use a little bit more. If Svitolina's trying to take that one, just mix it up, but try to push her back away from the court, just to open up some angles and throw something a little bit different at her.
That's an effective serve, isn't it? 95-mile-an-hour slider.
It's amazing. That's her go-to serve. So smart. You don't hit it that hard, so you're getting a higher percentage in.
Just doing everything very nicely. Elina Svitolina, another service hold ticked off. And inching closer to a place in the third round. Oh, it's so clever, isn't it? Great disguise. Looks like Elina Svitolina wants to get back to the locker room ASAP.
Yeah, this is it's tricky, isn't it? That's when you're thinking clearly. You can change your mind like that.
I just wonder if she's having a competition with her husband, Gael Monfils, to see who can finish faster. Monfils currently locked in a fourth set battle with Casper Ruud. Svitolina bangs in her 18th winner. And that's a look at that glorious backhand of Anhelina Kalinina. I bet if she was able, she would hit every shot as a backhand. She was one of those players who received 25,000 in the early days, US dollars, from the Grand Slam Development Fund. Helped to pay for a coach. Helped to have a breakout year in 2021. Did have a 14-match winning streak that year. Won back-to-back ITFs, got to the final of Budapest.
That's a forehand that just breaks down. She does not trust the movement out there. Doesn't really finish through the shot as well, just closes that racket off. But ultimately, it just comes from just the lack of trust.
Well, this is big trouble for Anhelina Kalinina because she's been broken once more, a fourth time in the match. And Elina Svitolina. Looking very comfortable at this point for Elina Svitolina, the 27th seed, up a set now, and 2 breaks in this second set. Haven't seen the best of Anhelina Kalinina yet.
No, she'll be a little frustrated with this match, I should imagine. Just has not been able to find what she's really wanted to do, and that's been able to open up the court, hit with a little bit more consistency. It's been a really good kind of effort from Svitolina. She hasn't had any dips. She's just really stayed at a very concentrated level. Never easy to go onto the court late in the day. I mean, it's 8:30 now here, New York time. It's a long day. Comes out and it's just very focused. Reminds me of Roger Federer, he could sit there all day at Wimbledon, it could rain all day, goes on. He's just switched on and just plays superbly. There's a reason why these players, you know, get to top 10, top 3 in the world. And that is that ability to maintain a really good product, a good quality. They just have such good self-control.
Is that innate? Is that something players work on to be better at learning the waiting game?
Yeah, absolutely. It's so much about timing and not wearing yourself out, not spend the whole day down in the lounge room there where all the players are and talking to everyone and wearing yourself out. It's just that timing. Come here a little bit later. Perhaps they would have practiced if they knew tonight they were going on later. They would have practiced around this time, trying to get the biorhythms and the body clock, you know, in order. The best players do that if they know they've got a night match. They're always trying to fit in.
It's so hard, isn't it, when you play fourth on? No, not before time, and there was a match, as we said earlier, that lasted well over 4 hours.
Yes, just a dismantling of Kalinina here. Just not a happy chappy on the court at the moment. Just going through the motions, really, isn't she?
Kind of Naomi Osaka numbers, 21 of 23 for the match behind the first serve. Perfect 3 from 3 here in the second set.
Deuce.
Has had trouble with injuries this year, though, Svitolina. Back and hip. A daily pain. That was hindering her. So she couldn't practice for more than an hour and asked herself, why am I doing this? I'm not 100%. My game is about physicality. I don't have my strength. There's no point to play. I really had big doubts. That's what Elina Svitolina said earlier this year after the Rome tournament. One of the longer games of this match so far. And there's her go-to serve.
It's one of the best aspects of any, I think, female player on the WTA Tour, that slider. There's no female players that like to hit that wide forehand, low bouncing. No one. Too good. Got it right on that occasion. Just ran to the right part of the court, almost drew that ball to her. Didn't go for too much on the cross. Perhaps should have gone back across her body. She could see, I mean, most of the players love to run to that open court. The thing is also your chest is facing your opponent, so the peripheral awareness is there.
Oh, yes.
This is that London bus.
It's coming again, the number 52. Kalinina with a forehand cross score and then a beautiful backhand up the line. Break points. Just her second of the match.
You can see a player player that doesn't trust their forehand when they just get into that funk where they just slice, you know, they just, oh, I just want to keep the ball in play. I mean, we've seen, you know, Serena Williams has done that from time to time. You know, just gets a little uncomfortable on the forehand, will slice. And she can go back and hit again big. She can find that confidence, but some players just really lack that. Tatiana Maria is down on Thrash Stadium at the moment playing with Coco Gauff, or playing against her. There's that slider serve, but she's a player that will often go to the forehand slice, and I think it's good to have that in the bag, just not to use it over and over.
Probably wishes she was playing with Coco Gauff instead of against her.
Yeah, that's right.
That's too good. A little bit of danger there in that game, but Svitolina saves the breakpoint chance and moves into a 4-love second set lead. Said for every day for 6 months I had pain in my back and hip. This is Svitolina. As we'll just remind you to stay connected to the US Open. Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube and WhatsApp. You can join the conversation with hashtag US Open. We'd love to hear from you. Just hasn't served well enough today, has she? Anhelina Kalinina. First serve percentage for the match in the 50s. That's her 5th double fault compared to just 1 ace. Been perfect on breakpoint chances, has Svitolina in the second set. She'd like to keep that record. And Anhelina Kalinina comes up with a couple of good serves. Keep herself in contention just about anyway. Hard to see a major comeback. Now that's good depth from the Kalinina forehand.
Advantage Kalinina.
Does love to drop shot off that backhand side, and that was supreme.
Svitolina leads 4 games to 1. Second set
from love 30 and 15-40.
That's a good effort, isn't it? Just to get on the board, just to salvage something. You never know. You never know what your opponent is thinking. I mean, there's been players that have won matches from worse positions than this.
Grey at one point, and now it's back to more black and white. Decision making easier, feeling really healthy, and she's performed today.
Just makes life so easy when you're getting a high percentage of first serves, in which she's now getting 64%. For the match, it was much higher in the first set, not as high now, but the conversion is still good. 84% just makes life just feel much better. But I like how she approaches her first serve as well. She's not going to blast the ball. She's not trying to get an outright winner. She's always trying to think the second shot or how to set up the rally. To me, that's just so much smarter.
Semi-finalists at the US Open, Lou. Semi-finals Wimbledon twice. Quarter-finalist French Open 4 times. Quarter-finalist Australian Open twice. Does Elina Svitolina still have a chance of winning a major?
No.
Lou Plemming, ladies and gentlemen.
So. I just don't think so. I think it's tough. I mean, yeah, she'd have to be just extracting absolutely everything out of, you know, what she's got, and just, it's tough. 29 years of age. Her best tennis was a few years ago, perhaps 2019. She had a fabulous run. I mean, she's been a great competitor, but there's some really good players out there at the moment. Yeah, it's too good. I mean, she struggles against Sabalenka and Rybakina and Iga Swiatek. I think it's tough for her to be able to hit through these kind of players. Still moves very well.
There's another ace. She has served rather well today, hasn't she? 8 aces today. A lot of players, though, they'll enter tournaments and they say, well, I wouldn't enter it if I didn't believe I could win it. So do you think she could believe she can win a major?
I'm sure. She's like a Caroline Wozniacki. She still believes that she can win. Azarenka still, you know, believes she can win. These 3 players are all from the same ilk. They've all got that incredible
resilience?
Yeah, it's toughness and just quality of play, mindset. They're almost from the same kind of copy, the 3. They just want to keep going. They love the sport. They train hard. They enjoy it. That's the big one.
Well, of course, the difference is between the 3 is that Azarenka has a couple of major titles. Wozniacki has 1. Svitolina doesn't have 1 yet.
Yep.
Does have a bronze medal, 2021 Tokyo.
Yeah, I just put her in that kind of basket of the, you know, the older players that are kind of here, even though she's not their age.
Certainly in the mother camp there, that's for sure.
40 love.
Is Kerber coming back? I mean, did she?
She's done.
She's done.
She retired after the Olympics, and Wozniacki has made noises about this could be her last US Open. I think Victoria Azarenka, given that she's added a few members of her team, Mike James and Greg Rosetsky. I think that she obviously thinks there's another few years left in her career. Oh,
Kalinina.
big swing at that one. Big miss hit for Elina Svitolina.
Svitolina
So she gives up another game.
Set,
That's been quite miserly in that regard. Taking her 1 hour and 11 minutes. Elina Svitolina about to serve for the match and a place in the US Open third round.
That's a nice way to open up the first shot.
15 love.
26 winners for Elina today compared to just 20 unforced errors. Always happy when you finish with a plus and nut column.
All. 30-15.
Just a matter of time, really. Kalinina hasn't found her best level today. Elina Svitolina has just gone through all the motions, done everything as well as she's needed to do. Match points. Oh, went for broke around the net.
40-30.
See her give a little smile because there's been quite a few tears, some of their after matches, particularly at Wimbledon. Won a big one and then just about lost it given what's happening at home. And 2 match points come and go.
Deuce.
Good depth. And that's an ability that the top players have as well. Even under pressure, they can come up with quality plays. They don't overplay. They just stay measured, but they don't hold back. They don't get passive. That's good. A little bit short there. That was off the back of some good depth, though, from Kalinina. I mean, that's the other side of the coin, isn't it? When you're facing match points, you just relax and you just go for it. You've got nothing to lose. Sometimes you come up with the best plays.
Previous shot must have caught the very back of the line. I think Kalinina was waiting for an out court, never came.
Advantage Svitolina.
And match point number 4.
Game 7.
And after 1 hour and 17 minutes, it's a win for Elina Svitolina. She's back in the third round of the US Open, gets the better of her Ukrainian countrywoman in authoritative fashion. It's a 6-1, 6-2 win for the 27th seed.
She'll be happy with that to expand 2